Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is not the kind of podcast episode that I wanted to do. Yeah, I've had some unfortunate things happen to me, and recently, um, mainly regarding injuries. It's been frustrating what I've had to deal with, but also interesting on how I've been able to deal with it. But yeah, I thought I would share that with you guys. So I started school Friday, and on Wednesday was at football practice. I was making a plant. Yeah, I planted in football, and I took with my left leg, the leg that I've already had 3 surgeries on. I planted and took a right turn, so turn to the right, and in that little turn, I tore my meniscus, and it's a radial tear. The good thing is it's not a bucket handle tear, which is, like, for sure, like, 100% needs surgery, no doubt about it. This is, that's just something that needs surgery. But my tear is a radial tear, but it was a long tear, so tomorrow I find out if I need surgery or not. But me being a silly goose, and my parents thought this was the dumbest thing. Like me, I thought like, oh well, I'm just trying to be tough, just trying to be tough and for the team. So I continued the rest of practice on it because I didn't think it was torn. I turned to one of my coaches and I was like it hurts a lot, yeah, but I don't think it's torn. I think it's just something's tweaked maybe. That's what I genuinely thought in my mind. Like, yeah, no, I think something's just tweaked. A minor sprain is what I said. Because in the moment, yeah, like I think it's when you have adrenaline. I don't think I had much adrenaline, but I think it's that mood that you're in whenever you're in practice. For me at least, when I'm practicing, to me, nothing's gonna stop me. Nothing's gonna let me not finish this practice. Nothing's gonna allow for that. So for me, practice is without a doubt the it's been important for me because I want to perform the best and my team needs me as well. So I continued on it and it was hurting, yes, but I did not think it was teared. I thought it was just I thought I just sprained something. So come to the next day, my knee's still not even that swollen, but I also know I'm not someone who swells much. And I told my dad, I told my mom. I was like, well, when I came home, she could tell something was wrong. I was like, I don't know. I think I just sprained something in my leg. And I was supposed to see the athletic trainer, but I didn't know when the athletic trainer was going to be there with us. Because I know some football teams, like, they have the athletic trainer there with them every practice. We unfortunately don't have that luxury, so I went to the doctor in the morning, and I know it was, like, I know when you're in sports, you're not supposed to go to the doctor. Like, let me explain that because that sounds like crazy at first. But you're not supposed to go to the doctor at first. You're supposed to allow the athletic trainer to check out, whatever may be going on. So, yeah, but I also knew there's something also really not right. I couldn't bend my knee. It felt torn. Something felt torn, but I didn't think it even like it got to the point where I was like, after my adrenaline wore off and after, I really started to come to earth. I think I was in denial for a little bit. I started to try to move my knee around. And I think by that point, I was sure that something was torn. I was pretty sure. So I was like, and I had already had an appointment, a doctor's appointment. So we're like, okay, we might as well try and get an orthopedic appointment. So we got the MRI the next morning because we had the first appointment and the doctor did the test. He's like, I think you have an LCL sprain and a meniscus sprain or a meniscus tear. And he completely sniped that because when the MRI results came back the next day, which was the first day of school, on first hour, and I check my chart results, and I'm like, okay, let's see the test results. We got them back, and I see the results, and my meniscus is torn. It's a radial tear, but the tear goes to like 2 different places. That's how long it is. They call it a significant tear, and as well, the um so there was the meniscus tear, and then there was also Oh, the LCL sprain. So he just knocked it out of the park with his hypothesis of what was going on with my knee. I guess he's a doctor for a reason, right? And yeah, I remember being frustrated and upset, sad, because every year I've had to deal with an injury. I feel like I talk about that every episode. Not trying to like drag it or make anyone feel bad for me, but it's just the truth. Like, if what it feels like is like every year I have to deal with an injury or have to go through some sort of injury. So it's definitely been tough on how I've had to deal with that in my life, and I think that dealing with it has been something that I've had to learn how to deal with and come to understand as well that whatever I'm doing at the moment, like, for example, right now playing football is not my purpose in life, right? There's more to my life than football. There's more to my life than basketball. Whatever sport I'm playing that I got hurt in, I have to understand that there's more to my life than that. And, me getting hurt, it really means nothing in my life in the long run, unless like it's a significant injury, but me not being able to play that sport is what I mean, really does nothing to me or what I stand for, what I do, if that makes sense. So, yes, it was frustrating and yes, it was sad, but eventually just I had to accept it and see, look at my options. I was given these options. I was given the option of what was one of my options? I was given the option of like I think right now either my option is have surgery or wait 4 to 6 weeks, see how it heals then. If it heals on its own, then I can then I don't have to get surgery. But if it doesn't, I might have to get an arthroscopy or a complete repair. I have no idea yet. But what is leading me to believe that I may need surgery? Hold on. I have no idea why that happened. Huh. Anyways, um, wondering, for my options on the tear, yeah, I can do that, or I could have surgery. But what leads me to believe that, I may need surgery is the lack of swelling that there was whenever the injury happened. So, kind of what that means is when you have a meniscus injury, there are kind of two ways that the meniscus can react or your knee can react. One of those being if you had a bad tear, but in a place with a lot of blood flow, that place will regenerate easier because it's getting a lot of blood flow there. So if it's swollen, that might make sense as to why. So you might have a little more hope, but mine didn't get swollen. So that leads me to believe it's in a place where there's really not much blood flow getting to that area. So it might be harder for me to recover and recuperate. But yeah, I hope that I won't need surgery because I'm kind of sick of surgery. But if I do, it's just whatever and just how I have to deal with it and move on. But I thought I would get on and talk about that today, and maybe bring you guys along with me on my journey to recovery. So if you stuck around, thank you for watching the podcast, and